Hi, I'm Stephen Adams and welcome to Optimum TV. Today I'm joined by Clark Futch, founder and CEO of Healthcare Royalty Partners, also known as HCRX. It's great to have you on Optimum TV, Clark.
Great to be here.
Let's kick straight off and let's take a step back to start with and thinking about what HCRX does in terms of biopharma royalties. Can you spell out in the simplest possible terms what you do?
Sure. So we acquire the royalty rights from the innovator. So typically an emerging biopharma company that's developed the technology, patent the technology, and almost always licenses or sells those patent rights to a larger, more established marketer. And we go to the emerging biopharma company, offer to pay them usually a lump sum upfront in exchange for the right to receive these royalties over, a 8, 10, 12-year period.
Okay, so they don't have to wait a long time. They can get a lot of money straight up front, which helps their development.
No, that's exactly right. And these emerging biopharma companies are running additional clinical trials, sometimes launching products, sometimes looking to acquire other assets or products. And so rather than waiting to collect every quarter over a 10-year period, we can provide that capital upfront so it can be redeployed for other purposes.
Okay, great. So how does what HCRX offers fit into the range of options that biopharma now has in terms of venture, credit, public markets, etc.?
It's a small but increasing percentage of the capital provided to these biopharma companies. So our estimates are today it's about 5 to 10%. That's actually up dramatically over the last 5 to 10 years, but still a small part. Companies are typically raising equity in either the private or public markets, doing a convert, maybe out licensing in another geography for cash up front. And so this is just another tool in the toolbox. And when we talk to the boards and the management teams of these companies, we talk about every time you go out to do a financing may not be the right time for royalty financing, but at some point in your corporate financing history, it will be the right time, and this will be the right tool for you. And so we're just looking to find those intersections.
Okay. And you would argue, would you, that this is a tool which is being not used as often as it could be?
It's not being used as often as it could be. There's been an education process, but we've seen an acceleration in its usage. And given the substantial capital needs to fund what's pretty impressive innovation that's going on globally in biopharma, there's an increasing need for capital. And so we're an option. I saw a survey recently where more than half of the CFOs thought that this would be a viable option for companies going forward. That's probably up 10x from a decade ago. So it's small but rapidly growing, and companies are coming to realize that, again, it's one of the tools they have in their toolbox as they look to finance the innovation that's going on throughout the world in the biopharmaceutical sector.
Okay, and I shouldn't imagine you're the only player in this area. What are you doing that others aren't, and how do you plan to lead?
So we've been doing this. I've been doing this 24 years now. So one of the things that we do is we offer a broad array of types of royalty arrangements. We offer straight up royalties. We create what's called a synthetic royalty, where if there's not a license agreement in place, we'll just buy a percentage of revenue. And we're increasingly doing hybrid structures that are both royalty and debt. And now, in combination with our KKR colleagues, we have an equity option for companies. So that, again, that broad set of tools, in our case, going well beyond just royalties and just debt into equity, is really a differentiated approach in our view.
Okay, so more flexibility, more options, in short.
Absolutely, more flexibility from any one of those options or potentially a combination of those options. Again, trying to provide more options for companies to finance their growing capital needs.
Okay, let's talk about KKR because HCRX has just been acquired by the investment giants, as I understand it. Thinking about the next year or two, what does this partnership bring to HCRX, and how will it help you expand?
Yeah, so it's certainly something that we thought long and hard about. And we've known the KKR folks for a long time and had a lot of respect for them and their organization. And I would say for us, it really brings three things to the table. Number one, resources. Obviously, KKR is a global business. And I'll just give you an example. One of our research colleagues has recently written a white paper on China, and we were able to tap into the KKR team in China to get an on-the-ground perspective of what's going on with biopharmaceuticals and potential royalties. So resources for sure. Again, tools in the toolbox, not just royalties, not just debt, but the equity option for companies, whether that's growth equity, whether it's more buyout type of equity. Obviously, those are areas that KKR is world-class in. So more tools in the toolbox. And the last thing I would say is sharing of intellectual capital. Last week, we had a meeting with our KKR colleagues and our senior advisor board talking about what's going on in the industry, what trends we're seeing, where the opportunities are. So putting, the proverbial two heads are better than one, putting our resources together with their substantial resources, we think should create better outcomes all around.
Okay, great. You mentioned the fact that you've got this wide array of products. I think you've got 55 different royalty products available. Are you going to be looking to move beyond the more traditional structured products into more hybrid structured and other types of structures?
We are. We're looking at all of that currently. We've done some of that historically, but certainly on the KKR platform, we can really turbocharge what we're doing. Again, offering different types of structures, providing flexibility, and doing that globally. US, Europe, Japan, other parts of Asia. So we're definitely looking to do that. And we're seeing in this current market environment really an acceleration. We did about $1 billion of transaction value in the first half of this year alone, which is a record pace for us. And a lot in the pipeline. We're looking at a lot of very interesting things in the second half of this year. So we're quite optimistic and excited about what the future holds for this type of royalty financing and beyond.
Okay, and finally, Clark, and if we can keep it brief, of these products you've got, where are you seeing the most growth in terms of therapy and stage of modality?
We continue to see very interesting opportunities in the rare disease or orphan disease area. That's over 50% of our portfolio, as you mentioned, of 55 product royalties. That's been an area that's been growing where the innovation's been really spectacular. So I would say rare disease continues to be an area. In terms of stage, what we're focused on are products and companies that are on the doorstep of approval. And so they need capital to finance the launch or to finance additional clinical trials. So rare disease, launching products are really core to what we do at Healthcare Royalty.
Okay, super, Clark. It's been great having you on Optimum TV. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Bye-bye.